Advertising. We all know what that is, right? Nike, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, they all spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year into advertising. The advertising is meant to influence you. So if the federal government is giving $1.4 billion a year in free handouts to the CBC, which is a news media, should that continue or should that stop? You see, this is the problem. Most executives know that when you're in financial problems and the CBC, their viewership has been dropping consistently since 2012, you have to adapt and you have to change. And if you don't change, well, you're going to close the doors. And this is the question with the CBC. Why are they getting this money? And where is this money going? So you and I, we don't know. Oh, they might tell you it goes here or goes over to fund these programs. Have you ever seen a ledger? Have you ever seen anything that accounts for one single dollar? Especially when executives receive, what was it, $23 million between 41 executives in bonuses the same month? 141 employees were laid off. That's not questionable. Not questionable at all. Wouldn't it be great if somebody researched and went, hey, you know what? Is there any relationship to elections? I did. Very quickly, a quick search. Anybody can do this. It's factual, okay? When you look at the 675 million in 2016, 2019, another 600 million or so, 2021, 400 million, they all were upgrades to the $1.4 billion that they get annual already following an election. It would almost seem like it was a reward, don't you think? Well, this is the thing. Where would this money go? We don't know. So where would this money best be served? If you weren't giving the CBC $1.4 billion a year, where would it go? Well, you're looking at medical centers, doctors, nurses. You could have student support. Hey, why not pay for Canadian scholarships to Canadians? That's an interesting thought. Skilled trade and real infrastructure. $1.4 billion a year goes a long way. But you see, this is the thing. If a company doesn't change, and they're changing their information to be more influential, and they start losing more and more viewers, they become dependent on government. And I think that's what we're seeing now. We are seeing a quasi corporation that is addicted and needing the money from the federal government. And that with that needing of $1.4 billion and these 600 million handouts, 42 million top ups, that buys an awful lot of loyalty. And see, it acts like a snowball effect. The more money they receive, the more loyalty they get back. And we know there's loyalty. And a lot of you say, no, there's no bias. They're neutral. Well, look at the two people, the man and the woman that just left. They were both anchors, and the accusations that they're making towards the CBC of being bullied by executives and producers like Rosemary Barton, not being able to push conservative topics, not to have conservatives on their program, especially a political debating program. You can't have a conservative member on there? Where's the fairness? It pushes it towards the liberal side, the liberal agenda. So I'm not coming to you as a conservative or a liberal or whatever. I'm just giving you the facts. That in itself is bias. And this is the problem. You've seen it. I've seen it. There is a shift, and it's getting worse and worse and worse every single year. The CBC is attacking almost, and they it's like they enjoy and they make a competition out of it. Attacking the conservatives and propping up Mark Carney instead of focusing and being fair, unbiased, neutral journalism. So here's the thing: if the government continues to hand out money and the influence continues, is it going to stop? No. As a matter of fact, it's going to be more influential into the future. So it's not going to get any better. And if you want change, sometimes you have to do what's painful, like an addiction. And imagine somebody like CBC is addicted. I mentioned that earlier for a reason, because sometimes the most drastic help you can give someone is by ripping the band-aid off, by cutting off the supply. So I ask you the question, do you think Canada, taxpayers, you and I, should cut off the supply of 1.3 to 1.4 billion dollars a year to the CBC so that money can be reallocated to other areas that would affect every citizen in Canada? What do you think? I would be interested to read your comments, so leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're getting better at this, I think. A little bit more comfortable.